Welcome to the Award Tour podcast. I'm introducing it this time because Al did it last time. So, Oscars. We're going to talk about that. The 2023 Oscars, to be precise. Owl, what do you have to say about this?
It was really Reddit. It was the most Reddit Oscars of all time. Reddit assemble.
We're not going to go over every topic because, I know you haven't seen everything and I haven't either this year, which...
Yeah.
If we did last year, I would have been able to, but this year I didn't get to everything. But
yeah,
we
both saw the best pictures though. So
yeah, what do you want to get to? Just that, or do you want to touch on other stuff like?
Let's just quickly go over the earlier stuff.
You have it pulled up, right? Because I don't.
Have what pulled up?
What one? Because I don't have it off the top of my head.
I can remember we're not gonna go over every point, just ones that stick out to me. So.
Best supporting actor.
Or the first one was animated, best animated.
Oh yeah, they got that out of the way. I was like, wow, they just really want the cartoon community fans watching just to okay, turn it off, you know.
I mean, Pinocchio winning, obvious. I think anyone who knows anything about anything fucking knew that was gonna win.
Yeah, I really like Turning Red though, but yeah, Pinocchio. It's Kino.
Yeah. Animation is not cinema, it's a stupid genre for fucking babies. So the best supporting actor...
You're going to get... My audience is going to hate you. They're going to send you death threats, even though I don't think my audience is that stupid, but... I don't know.
Hear that? Alex hates you, his audience.
You're gonna edit that out of context, I think Coolsville sucks. I think my audience is that stupid.
And then best supporting actor,
Ke Huy Quan, which I don't know if I pronounced it right, but Ke Huy?
Ke Huy Quan.
Yeah, he won, and he should have. He was my favorite of the people there.
No, yeah, his performance is highlight of that movie by far, more than deserved win. Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool seaman guy. His speech was really sweet.
Yeah, just everything talking about, I don't know.
And then the best supporting actress was Jamie Lee, which was fucking bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah, she, who else is nominated? There was that one lady from Banshees of Inisherin, which probably should have won. No, Angela Bassett. Either or, but Angela Bassett should have probably won.
Angela Bassett was my pick, who I thought was going to win and who I thought probably should have won. Her performance in Black Panther was... really amazing. She really gave it her all and really cared, clearly. Her reaction,
she didn't look happy.
Yeah, her reaction to seeing Jamie Lee winning, she just her eyes just glazed over.
Yeah, I think everyone's reaction was that also, because I was I don't know, I like Jamie Lee Curtis. It's not I'm mad at her. It's cool, I like her. I just wish she didn't get an Oscar for this specific role of all things. Never mind that she's she has 5 minutes of screen time total, and Angela Bassett's carrying the entire movie, so it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, in terms of actually supporting the movie and doing a very good job at that.
Yeah, because someone could say well, I mean, Anthony Hopkins won for Silence of the Lambs for best supporting actor, I think, or no, I think just best actor period, but he only had 12 minutes of screen time total, but he kind of makes the movie. I mean, the movie's really good, but
the one thing I'll say is people on Twitter being oh, the character is a mean and bad person. So that means why did they give it to her? It's guess what? It's a character, and she performed it just fine. I don't think it's not the award for nicest character.
That's what Twitter is.
Villains do bad things, believe it or not. I mean, I will say though, Stephanie Sue did give the better performance and carry the movie as a supporting actress better. So even within that movie, of the two supporting actresses nominated, I think
this shouldn't even have been her.
Yeah, it was definitely Stephanie Sue. She was, better. What else was there? Best actor was Brendan Fraser. Yeah, I was kind of thinking it was going to be Austin Butler and was hoping it was going to be him. I'm not mad that it was Brendan Fraser.
No, yeah, Austin Butler didn't win, but I kind of was hoping he'd win, but I'm also kind of not. I don't know, Brendan Fraser did really good in The Whale, and I don't really like that movie that much, but he is not the problem. He is the only thing I really like about the movie, so he kind of makes the movie.
Best actress. Who was best actress?
Stephanie, you.
Michelle, not Stephanie.
Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh won Best Actress, which by that point in the show, I expected. It was very much like the only movies that won were Everything Everywhere, All Quiet on the Western Front, and
The Whale for
that was it?
the two
Oh, and
awards
The
they got
Whale.
nominated for.
Oh yeah, and The Whale,
Whale-
and like
Whale with the-
Avatar. Avatar got the special effects, obviously.
And Top Gun got sound, and what else won? I don't know. I mean, aside from like documentary stuff and short films and stuff that is not eligible for, but oh yeah, women talking for adapted screenplay. But before we get to that, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. She was good in it.
Yeah, she was good.
My favorite lead actress of the year was Rooney Mara in Women Talking, who wasn't even nominated. And out of those nominated, I think Michelle Williams was my favorite in Fabelmans.
She was, yeah. Personally, she was my favorite. She did a really good job, but I was like, there's no way they're gonna give her the Oscar because, again, ever since the Oscars So White thing of like what was it when Chris Rock hosted in 15, 16? The Oscar So White hashtag thing, like the Academy's been super self-conscious about what they decide to pick and whatever, that like I was like, there's no way they're gonna give Michelle Williams that award when, like, to jump ahead Fabelmans. I was like,
yeah, I guess we can just quickly go over the best pictures now. Don't want to focus too much on like the main show or whatever. We'll mainly be focusing on the winner. Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front. We'll just go over this alphabetically.
won like 6 awards. Yeah, like what did it win?
I just mean like our thoughts on it.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was.
That's
fine. I thought it was fine.
Like apparently most people have when they were in school, but my school sucked. Maybe I didn't read All Quiet on the Western Front back in middle school, which apparently most people seem to. So I don't have any knowledge of the story. I haven't seen the 1930 movie, which we're actually gonna get to if we keep this up soon, like within a month, maybe 2 months.
Yeah, that's like the third Best Picture winner, the original.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Which looks good. I've seen some shots from it. It looks really amazing. Next was Avatar: The Way of Water, which was my second favorite.
Same. I thought it was really good. I'm not a big fan of I like the first one, but I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's easily James Cameron's worst, not worst, because that sounds like a negative. It's his weakest film up to that point, and I really like the second Avatar a lot. I don't just mean visually, which it's like, it's been a long time since I've seen a movie where like the CGI like actually is like, wow, like I'm amazed by it. How like Spider and the human characters blend in like perfectly with them. Like they don't look out of place or weird. They just look like they're actually there. It's amazing. But I also really like its story, and the characters are better than the first, like Yuri, and I like that what's his military guy's name? The Colonel, General, what's his name?
Colonel Miles Quaritch.
Yeah, the Colonel. I was gonna call him that. I like him a lot in this movie, and like kind of, I don't know. It's a good movie. I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, big step up from the first one in like every regard. It's one of those sequels that's sort of like, it's a sequel, but you don't have to see the first one. It's very much like almost a soft reboot, but very much still continuing the story. Like, you can see Terminator 2 without having seen the first Terminator. You can see Avatar 2 without having seen the first Avatar.
Yeah, it's built that way specifically. I mean, I don't know about Avatar 2 if I completely agree, but Terminator 2, yeah, it is built specifically that way. So it's.
I believe James Cameron himself said that of the Avatar 2.
Oh, okay, I didn't know, but yeah, for Terminator 2, yeah, you don't need to, and Avatar 2, I mean, I feel like you would, but I mean, I could say the same thing about Terminator. I'm like, there's no way you can watch the second one without the first. There's no way, but people do.
They like explain all of the first movie and everything at the beginning anyway. The Banshees of Inisherin, I thought was great.
Inisherin, is that, how do you? Inisherin, okay.
It doesn't matter. It's a made up place, you know.
Oh, I thought it was a real place in Ireland. That's why I was like, I don't know.
No, Inisherin is a made up place. It's based on Inisher, but Inisherin it's fake. It's a fake island.
Whoa, it's like Middle Earth for Irish people. I like that movie. You like it more than I do, though, and so does seemingly everyone but me. I think it's a good movie, but that's literally it. It's just good. I I don't have any strong feelings against it or towards it.
I thought it was just a really great story that I really vibed with. that was told just very well. Elvis, which was another one of both of our favorites, I think.
No, yeah, I really like it. Even though initially when it was starting, I was like, I'm not used to Baz Luhrmann style, so I was like, what? The first 20 minutes, I'm like, oh my god, is this what I'm gonna have to put up with for over 2.5 hours?
Have you seen any of his movies before?
I actually have. I saw. Wait. He did Romeo plus Juliet or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the first 10 minutes of that in high school, and I hated it so much it gave me a headache, and I turned it off. So that's all my exposure to him, really, and I was like, oh god, it's this guy, I forgot.
Yeah. I saw The Great Gatsby, which is his second most popular.
Never mind, I forgot I saw that movie. Yeah, The Great Gatsby.
Which is considered like one of his weaker films as well.
I remember virtually nothing, and I think I've seen it twice, so I don't know. It's been a long
sort of
time.
this thing where the original story is very much like exploring this lifestyle and these parties and this debauchery in a book, versus showing it on screen makes it seem a lot more sort of exciting and interesting. So it's kind of adapting it to a film is kind of a bad idea from the start, maybe. I haven't seen it in a long time, though, so no comment, really. But Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis I really liked. Austin Butler was perfect. He was Elvis. No one else was Elvis. I was like, Elvis is like a hard person to do an impersonation, because he's actually a really easy person to impersonate. Like everyone's done an Elvis impersonation probably at some point, like, even if you're like a little kid. But it's like really hard to make it not seem like as an impersonation and like an actual thing, and I think he did his homework. Like I think he studied like for a couple of years, like what did he study exactly, like how he talked and interviews.
His talking, his movements, as you said. It's one that everyone has done, but to make it not come off as just an impersonation but a real portrayal of the person and not just like the on-stage character really is impressive.
Also, he's white.
He's what? Tom Hanks. I don't know. I'd have to see the movie again. What was Tom Hanks fucking doing in that movie? God damn.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hate his performance, but he's not the reason Elvis is like great.
It's abusive to let Tom Hanks just do that. He just had that idea. No one told him it was terrible. Because the thing is, that's not how the real Colonel Tom Parker talked. I don't know how he got
really?
this. No, it's nothing like it.
Oh, I thought that's why Tom Hanks, because it's such a weirdly specific thing to do that I was thinking like, oh, well, that's just how he talked. I'm like, oh, wait.
No, yeah, the real Colonel Tom Parker was Polish and pretended to just be an American. But that's not how he talked. He, like, spoke with, like, a fine American accent.
And then Tom Hanks turned him into, like, a hick or something, like...
What Tom Hanks was going for was, like, a Polish guy trying to sound like he's an American.
Wait, is that what he was going for?
I think so. Maybe.
Wow, he did a horrible job then, because...
But that's not how fucking...
the guy talked.
The Colonel talked at all.
Well, yeah. In that case, yeah, but wow, that's horrible then, because, like I said, I thought he was just trying to sound like a Southerner, and it's like, oh, wow, if that's his impersonation of a Polish guy doing an American accent, that was really bad.
It might be. It might not be. I have no idea.
Okay, now I kind of get why people hated it. I was like, I don't know, he's just being a dumb hillbilly. Maybe that's how the guy was.
But the movie itself was very good. I love its style. It's so weird. The only thing that annoyed me of the movie, aside from Tom Hanks' performance, was in the editing. I like the editing. It's crazy. It works. But the digital, like, edited in zooms were just so distracting and, like, amateur.
This kind of editing is like 100% not my thing. I really don't like movies that edit around like this, but it works for the movie because of like how much, like, there's just a shit ton of stuff packed into it, and it moves really quickly, and it's super like attacking your senses type thing, and like, like being on drugs, or I guess kind of put you like, what did Elvis kind of go through? What was his life? He's crazy and going through all this stuff. So I think it worked. despite me not liking that sort of stuff usually.
We'll skip over Everything Everywhere just for the moment. We'll save that for last. Fabelmans.
That's my favorite.
That was, yeah, that's both of our favorites.
I love it.
Just
amazing.
A 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it's my favorite of not just the nominees. It's my favorite movie of the year in general.
One of my favorites of the past few years. Tar.
I actually don't know what you think of it because you were kind of vague. Same thing as All Quiet on the Western Front. I thought it was okay. There are things I like about it specifically, like the whole lecture scene. I like that scene a lot just because I think it's like well acted, and I like what the camera's doing, kind of like one take sort of build up and anticipation with like the guy's leg shaking and the camera moving around and shifting of dynamic powers, and like I like that. I like other stuff, but overall when I ended I was just like, that was okay. I don't care about it.
Yeah, Cate Blanchett was
really good.
Very good. Not my favorite of the year, obviously, as I said before, Michelle Williams or Rooney Mara. Where, yeah, I still feel very unsure of what I think of it. It's one I'd have to see at least a couple more times before I really could define how I feel. But I thought it was okay. Yeah. Skip to whatever time frame on screen right now to avoid spoilers for Tar. I just want to talk about the ending. What did you think of the ending?
Indifferent, like most of the movie.
Yeah, I thought including that electronic music in the credits, that's kind of rude. That's just some guy making electronic music, and by putting it in there, they're saying oh, this music is dumb, and she's been reduced to this because she's trapped in her own ego or whatever, and she's been reduced to this stupid music, and it's hey man, someone cares about making that music.
Well, maybe from her perspective, that's the thing. I don't.
Yeah, the movie is from her perspective. I feel like the movie is almost it's all just in her head. In what world is a classical composer a massively famous person in the modern day? It's like a fantasy that she's just come up with for herself. Top Gun Maverick was one of my favorites. Saved cinema. Even Spielberg himself said to Tom Cruise, you saved cinema for real.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, for action stuff, yeah, I think Spielberg was oh, thank God, someone else who also does cool action.
Yeah, he said straight up, he very well might have saved the movie theater industry, which he probably did.
I mean, kinda. I don't know. It's still a big budget, dumb popcorn movie sort of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing, though. It got people going to the theater. Well, that's all it means.
I mean, it did. It completely killed the MCU almost completely. It's so weird because it not only did super well overseas, it did super well here in America, and I think combined its domestic gross here in America is higher than most of the outside of Black Panther, the other Marvel movies combined, or something like that.
Triangle of Sadness is the next one, which I thought was kind of mediocre. This one particularly, this movie, it's rich people trying to get in on the joke. They saw Parasite and they're oh yeah, we're crazy, right? Haha, guys. But also socialism is also also crazy and fucked up. Haha, it's fine. Yeah, we're all just wacky and crazy. Haha.
I liked it better than you did. I don't think it's amazing, but I found it very entertaining, which I cannot say for some of these movies. Well, not just these movies, but some of the movies I've seen in general recently. It's not remotely as clever or smart as Parasite, but I found it entertaining and pretty funny. Good performances, which I mean, I think all of these movies have good performances, though. That's it's kind of a given that these movies, except for Tom Hanks, are gonna have good performances.
The captain's dinner sequence I thought was a big highlight. That was just very good camera work and very funny.
Yeah,
just how it all breaks down.
Gross out humor, which I thought was really funny, and the drunk Russian guy is we're all gonna drown. I'm kidding. They fall, and then they fall over as they're because they didn't hear what he said. They still fall over down the stairs or something.
I thought the earlier sequence going over the sort of modeling world was a lot more interesting than the rest of the movie, and I would have preferred the version of the movie that's just that. It feels like the first act is from one movie, the second act's from another, and the third act's from like yet another movie, and they don't quite work well together. It's still entertaining. I didn't totally hate it, but not my favorite.
I guess I agree with the opening thing in theory being more interesting. I personally didn't think it was more interesting in the movie itself, but in theory, if it was revolving around that with all the other stuff happening, it would be, I guess. But I don't know. I think it got much more interesting once they got on the boat. Well, the entire boat thing in general. But yeah, I don't know. I still like the movie.
Is it the worst one? What's the worst one?
Oh, it's definitely not this. I actually like this movie. I already said. I don't know if I said. It's either Tar or All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't know which, because I prefer stuff about Tar. Like I said, Quiet doesn't have a scene that I like as much as that stuff in Tar. I don't know. Either or. I don't really care much about either movie. Those are my two least favorites. I already know what your least favorite is, but...
Women Talking is the last one. I don't think that was my least favorite.
Oh.
What did I rank as my least favorite? I ranked Triangle of Sadness as my least favorite, actually.
Oh.
I still liked Women Talking. Yeah, I just I don't have like a ton to say about like the main story of it. I liked that enough. I just thought the way it was shot, for my taste, was just very tiring, and it sort of made the movie a bit difficult to sit through. It's the color grading is just strange and very, very, very muted intentionally, but I don't think that worked quite. I don't think it was done right. I don't know. I wouldn't have a problem with it being muted. Just, I don't know. Something about the way it was graded was very strange to me, and just the camera work was very. Barely fucking moves. It's just shot like a theater play. I thought the main story I thought was very interesting. I like all the characters, and again, goes without saying, imagine that all the performances are good. I'm
sort of the opposite, where this is one of my favorite movies of, I don't know about the year, but at least of the nominees, it's like behind, it's not Fabelmans level, but it's like behind Avatar and Elvis. I really liked it, and the cinematography thing normally would bother me. Like I even told my other friend about that. Like, this kind of stuff is not what I tend to like visually, but it kind of worked almost, because like it has like such a specific like vibe and like look to it, and it's really obviously intentional. Like, it's not just like a Marvel movie where it's like, Captain America being gray is not intentional. They just fucking suck at color grading. But like, I think it works for what it's trying to do, and has like this alien, weird, cold vibe to it that I don't know how to describe. I actually really like the score, and it didn't get a single nomination when I was like, this is the only movie of these that has a score I remember, except for Babylon. I don't know. I really liked it, what it said, what it is, and
yeah, it's one I'll definitely have to see again. But onto the main course, the Best Picture
Morbius.
Winner. Morbius sweep.
I wish they made that joke.
Jared Leto actually won the Best Picture. It wasn't actually Brendan Fraser. I actually lied. Matt Smith won Best Supporting Actor for his role in Morbius. It just swept the whole Oscars.
Yeah, it was incredible. That Morbius song won Best. Have the Poop My Pants song won Best Original Song. It's crazy. It's not even original. But...
yeah, the Morbius song that Eminem did, where he went, Morbius, I got a Floorbius that I'm walking on.
Morbius, the Warfius, the Warshock, or whatever the song says.
Morpheus,
Orpheus, Seashell, Orvis, or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. The Best Picture winner, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, which I just rewatched.
Yeah, you go first.
Sure. I think its emotional core, I really like its emotional core. I think that stuff was all really great when it's pacing itself properly and really focusing on the family. It's really impactful and great. But the problem is, a lot of it focuses on the reality warping and the humor, and I thought all that was really terrible. it's this over under confidence and irony where it's like it's too ironic to be like funny and genuinely charming, but not ironic enough to be like interesting. It's just this sort of like Reddit gray area of its humor.
I agree. Although I don't think it's completely awful in those. I mean, it's not. Well, how do I just explain it? I like the emotional core of it and what it's trying to say and like the message and like the scenes that kind of allow itself to do a little bit more with that like mainly the flashbacky stuff to like them coming getting together and coming to America and like their kid is born and like kind of the whole movie sort of stuff. And I like the part where they're ripping off Wong Kar. Well, they're doing it intentionally, paying homage to Wong Kar Wai with the bit where they're just kind of standing and talking after both of them are famous, and he's like I'd rather I wish I could do laundry and taxes with you, which is a really really good quote.
Yeah, in the universe where they're still like Evelyn and Wayland, but they're playing actors in a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, you noticed the poster, which I also didn't notice the first time around, and when I rewatched it I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I didn't notice Daniel Kwan's like small cameo either. Like, yeah, you just see it for like a few frames or whatever. So yeah, I guess we feel very similar about the movie. I just sort of I'm less forgiving.
I like it more than you. I presume I don't. You seem to. I don't know. It bothers me, that stuff, like I said, but I still think kind of overall by the ending and once it's kind of all over and it wraps up and the movie's done, I'm kind of like, yeah, I like what it's trying to do, and it maybe I'm too forgiving. I mean, I'm not, but in the case of this movie, maybe. But I don't know. I think it's a good movie. Just it could be great if my problems were not so severe.
Yeah, Reddit cinema. I can't believe the Daniels walked on stage and in unison said, "Reddit, assemble." It's funny. It's worth noting that this movie is also produced by Anthony and Joe Russo.
Yeah, which when they won best picture, they are producers, and technically producers are the ones who get up on stage and talk, but they weren't there at all, which I found weird. Maybe they intentionally didn't go because they probably knew Scorsese had like shooters in the audience.
Was Scorsese even there? I know, interesting, like Tom Cruise and Jim Cameron both didn't turn up.
Yeah, and Jimmy Kimmel, who was a bad host, by the way, made a joke about that.
I can't believe this was the first Oscars where they replaced the Academy with a Reddit page and they let them vote for it.
Oh my! I thought you were gonna say they customized the Oscar statue to be like the Reddit logo avatar thing.
We should mention this. Michael B. Jordan hosted a section and he was the best. He should host every year until he's dead. He's so good at hosting it.
I like the part where he takes some time to like talk about Malcolm X's like cinematography. That was really cool. I was like, oh wow, he's like he's like a nerd also like us. He's like like talking about like this is how they did it. This shot's really cool. Hey guys, look at this.
Yeah, we did everything, I guess.
Everything, everywhere.
We did everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah, that's what I call my orgies.
Good job, Reddit Nation. Reddit assemble. Congratulations to Reddit the movie on fucking winning. All right, Reddit Nation. Peace out, brothers.
Disassemble.